So in order to get started on your personal information, you'll see this tile here that says personal information. So if you click here, you'll see all these options populate. I recommend just starting from the beginning with the release statement. Basically, you are just agreeing that all of the information you are filling out is accurate. So you're going to want to select that. And then if you are at a California high school and you have taken any CASP exams, you can choose to release those results. So that can be up to you whether or not you want to release those. And if you did not complete any CASP testing, you can also indicate that as well. For contact information, you're basically just acknowledging that your campuses can reach out to you before or after you have submitted your application. If you click Save and Continue, you can continue to the next section, which will be your biographic information. So here you should already see your name populated from when you filled it out in the beginning. And then if you have any former names, you can indicate that here as well. And if you have any other names that you would like to be called, you can indicate here. For your legal sex, you just indicate whichever is most applicable to you. And same goes with any of identities that you have. So you can just fill these out however you prefer. And then you will move on to your birth information. So you can enter your date of birth. And once you enter that correctly, you should see a window pop up that shows your age, and you can confirm that. Your country of birth is just going to be where you were born. Again, just fill this out as accurately as possible. And enter the state as well. These questions are going to be referring to a couple different things. So again, just answer these depending on your own experiences and circumstances. So just read through all these questions and answer yes or no to all of them. For me, I'm just going to select no for all of the questions. Save and continue, and again, you will be brought to the next section. This is going to be asking about your contact information. So you're just going to want to fill out your current permanent address. So depending on wherever that is for you. Fill out the street address, the city, the state, county, and your zip code. And sometimes when you begin entering the address, it will give you a pop-up that will give you a guess of what your address is. If this is correct, you can select yes. If not, you can select no. For me, I'm going to select yes here, and then you should see that information populated. If this is your permanent address, you can select yes to this question and indicate that it is your permanent address. If not, you can fill out this section here to show the date through which this address is valid. You should see your phone number populated and your email. If you want to make any updates, you can select one of these links, and that can bring you back to that profile section where you can make changes to those if necessary. The next section is going to be citizenship and residency information. So you will be able to select from this drop-down the option that best describes your U.S. citizenship. And there will be questions that potentially populate depending on what you select here. So be sure to answer those as well. And then your residency should also be indicated from previous questions on the extended profile. If you claim California residency, you can select yes, and it will populate these additional questions and answer those as truthfully as possible. Next, it is going to ask you about race and ethnicity. Please note that this information is not used for any reason regarding your admissions decisions. This is just for us to collect data on who is applying to the California State University system. So this is not going to help or harm you for admissions purposes. And then again, fill out what is most applicable to you, and you can save and continue. So in this section, with the parent and guardian information, you can add any parents or guardians if you wish. If you are dependent of your guardians, you must list at least one parent or guardian. And remember that this is used for data and recruitment purposes. This does not have any effect on your admission. For me, I'm going to select not adding any parent guardian information, but again, if you wish to do so, you can do that. I'm going to click into the next section, which is other information. If you have a US Social Security number, you can enter that here. And again, please remember to enter this accurately, as it will ensure that your application is processed in the most timely way possible. And be sure that you are indicating your Social Security number as the student and not that of another family member or parents. If you attend a California high school, you can indicate your statewide student ID, but if not, you can skip that question. It will ask about your language proficiency and then your military status, which again is already populated there. And if anyone is a dependent of anyone who is currently serving or has served in the military, you can indicate that here as well. It will ask if you're interested in earning a teacher or other education credential, and you can answer that depending on what you're interested in. And there are a couple questions about CalFresh, CalPromise, and again, you can learn more about these programs through these links that are on this application here. And then for this last question here, you can indicate however you learned about the application. There are a couple of different options here to select. I'm just going to select CSU Campus Tour. And then you can save that and continue to the next section. This is the final part of the personal information. So it's going to be asking about your financial and parental information. It's going to ask if any of these statements here on these bullet points apply to you. Again, read those thoroughly and make sure to answer as accurately as possible. And it's going to ask you about a couple different questions regarding your household size, income information. So you can fill this out again with the help of your guardians if possible, but if not, just do your best to answer as accurately as you can. For my sakes, I'm just going to enter zeros here, but again, please speak with your guardians or your counselors to get help with these questions if you need it. For campus housing, if you want to indicate that you are interested in that, you can select yes or no. And then finally, there are questions about your parental or guardian education levels. So you can fill those out here and then select save. And once you are done with that section, you can return to your dashboard and you should see that this box here with the personal information is now green with a check mark. It shows 8 out of 8 sections completed. So that means that you have completed all sections required for this first personal information tile. So that's going to conclude my section about setting up your account and the personal information. If you do have any questions about this process, please feel free to reach out to the admissions office of the university you are interested in attending, and we will be happy to assist you. Happy application season, everyone.